Hey friends, I hope that y'all are having a great day. I am here this morning hanging out with my friend Holly, and she is from Cook Children's. She is their virtual lactation consultant. Yay!
Yeah, good.
So now before you think, what the heck is a virtual lactation consultant, you're going to be in luck because my friend Holly is going to explain right here off the bat a little bit about what she does, and then we're going to get into some common breastfeeding questions, and we'd be happy to answer any questions as well that pop up during our Facebook Live. So, okay, what do you mean by virtual lactation consultant? Tell us what this is.
It is the new age of medicine.
There we go.
So I get to see people exactly like we're doing with them right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're in their home or wherever with their baby, mom, husband, whoever that wants to be with them. But there's that barrier between us. And some people feel like, oh, that might be too much of a barrier. But the vast majority of people have really liked it because it gives them that control. No one's in their space or grabbing on them. And we can talk. I can see latch. They have to move the camera around a little bit. We have to be a little bit more creative. But mostly, the vast majority of moms just have a ton of questions.
Absolutely,
and want to work through those or expectations, what's to come, and those sorts of things that maybe their pediatrician either doesn't have all the answers for or doesn't have the time for.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that's fantastic because breastfeeding mamas, do you hear this? You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to put the car seat in. You don't have to take a shower. No one will know. So this is a fantastic way, I think, to get some help with just all of kind of the ups and downs of breastfeeding, especially when you're just getting started, without having to get dressed and go anywhere. So you're my new favorite person.
Thanks. I always joke that I wished it was around when I had my babies.
For real. Isn't that the truth? Okay. All right. So you are, I'm going to read it here so I don't mess it up, an international board certified lactation consultant. So how do you qualify to be this and kind of what's your training?
There are 3 routes to be a lactation consultant, to be international certified. And because I was already a nurse, I got a quicker route because I didn't have to get the college hours. They assume that in part of your nursing. And so you do have to have 90 hours in the training. You have to have a certain number. It's a lot of hours. I can't remember exactly.
That's all right.
Of on-hand helping moms breastfeed hours. And then you have to go take a test, which was super hard because it's worldwide. So you can't think in a U.S. setting because there are things we do here because we have clean water. And there are things in other parts of the world that breastfeeding may determine life or death. And so you have to think in that kind of mindset, which is hard.
Yeah, great. Okay, so you are definitely qualified to answer our questions. And so I've got a few here for you, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. So let's talk a little bit about, you kind of explain how a lactation consultation would work. Like you're talking kind of just like we are here on our friendly Facebook Live. But what do you need to actually have one? Like how do you make this actually work?
They have to have something with a camera. So whether that's a tablet or a phone or a computer that has a camera. And we use a HIPAA compliant system. It's similar to Skype, but no one can break in.
And that's important. Yes, nobody's going to be hijacking your lactation consultant appointment.
And then that's really it. So they don't even have to have the baby there because most moms feel like, oh, I need to schedule this around a feeding, and that gets them a little anxious because we don't always know what those will look like.
Right.
But I don't know the percentage, but the vast majority don't end up even wanting to feed. By the time they have all their questions answered, they say, I think I'm going to try that, and then I'll get back to you if I have other steps. So
great, perfect, wonderful. Okay, so when do you think a breastfeeding mom should reach out to a lactation consultant?
As soon as she decides she's going to breastfeed.
Okay.
I have 3 kids, and all 3 of them had different issues, completely different issues. I was a nurse with the first 2. I was a lactation consultant with the 3rd. So I should have known it all.
Right.
It's still hard.
Yeah,
and I had questions. And there were differences in all 3 of them that I needed someone to tell me either you got this or let's change this up.
Right. Yeah. Try this, do that. Yeah, that kind of thing.
But earlier the better, just like with anything else.
Okay, and what is the cost of a session? How does all that work? Because you're not seeing your friendly lady at the welcome desk, like to run your insurance and all that. How do you go about making an appointment, paying for it, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it is not covered. It is a cash pay service, so it is not covered by insurance. I do believe that people can use their health savings money to go back towards it, but I don't know that because we don't.
Right, you don't handle that part. Yeah.
But for a 30-minute visit, it's $40, and for an hour, it's $60. No, and
great.
When you look at having someone come to your house, I mean, it's hundreds of dollars, and so it's really minimal. It's comparable to a copay-ish,
right?
To have this service,
right? And remember, you don't have to shower. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yes. Or makeup.
It's not.
Or pants, really. You can see
we'll never know. Great. Okay, well, we just sort of wanted to talk a little bit about what this looks like and how it works. And we're going to throw up a link to the website as well, so you can kind of find out a little bit more about how to make an appointment and even kind of answer some of the questions online. But here are a few breastfeeding questions. We're going to put you on the spot. Are you ready? Here you go. Do your stretches. Here we go. Breastfeeding question time. How often should a baby be eating?
Well, babies do not run off of clocks like we do. So
they only came with a man.
Yeah, exactly. So we know that we need to empty our breast somewhere between 8 and 12 times per 24-hour period to keep our milk up. And that may look perfectly aligned every 3 hours or every 2 hours, or it may be 1 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. It doesn't matter. As long as they hit that overall number in that 24-hour period, then mom's body knows I got to keep that milk up because we're feeding this baby breast milk.
Okay. So how do you know if you're making enough?
That's almost everybody's question.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
It is. Number one, we want them to grow. We like them to gain close to an ounce per day. We like them to get back to their birth weight by around 2 weeks of age. So weight is a good indicator. Not all of us have scales at home, and not all of us want to run to our pediatricians for those daily weights. Exactly. So another good indicator is output. By day 6, we like their stools to turn to that yellow seedy stool that you remember. And then we like them to have about 4 a day. So that's how we can tell if they're pooping and peeing nonstop. It's math. If we're putting a lot in, a lot's coming out.
Got it. Okay. All right. Should breastfeeding be painful?
Here's what I always tell the moms. It should not be excruciating. You should not dread the next feed. You should not have breakdown and your nipple look like it's going to fall off.
Right.
However,
if you're gushing blood, this is not a good sign.
But if I just took this part of your arm and started doing this, by about 4 p.m. tomorrow, you would be like, if you touch me there again, I'm going to knock your head off.
Right.
And so it's a part of your body that doesn't see sunshine or friction or anything that we all of a sudden put high pressure suction and friction on. So a little soreness in the beginning is normal.
Okay. All right. And at what point should a mama become concerned, like where the pain is not exactly?
I think if she's dreading her next feed, if she's looking at the clock like, oh gosh, we're going to have to feed again and I don't want to do this, there's probably an issue with that latch.
Okay, got it. Okay, what are signs of an infection?
A mom with mastitis typically feels flu-like. That's kind of her first symptom. She feels achy and like doesn't feel good, just all over sore. They can run fever. A lot of women run really high fever with mastitis. They'll also get a hot spot sometimes, like a red spot on their breast that's really hot and red and hard underneath. Those are all signs that there could be an infection and you want to call your doctor right away.
Right away, yeah. Okay, so do you assist moms in helping them kind of get on like a feeding schedule, or how does that work for you? Like what is it besides the latch and just getting good outflow? What is kind of like your perspective on that?
I don't really love scheduling just because that's just not how our bodies are designed. Even us, we eat now as adults, pretty regularly, but sometimes you're hungrier than others, and sometimes you really want to dig in and eat the whole plate. Sometimes you all want to share, and they're no different than that. So if we really want good supply, we really just need to follow our baby's hunger cues. And because as they grow, they're going to go through big growth spurts where all of a sudden they cluster feed and demand more. And we want to listen to that because that's literally them speaking to our supply, going, whoo, you need to up the volume.
Right.
The more they pull out, the more our body makes.
Okay. Yes. All right. So what about the mamas who pump? Do you assist moms who pump,
Yeah.
or maybe do a combination of both?
Absolutely. So a lot of moms work, and so a lot of moms come to me to say, hey, I'm going back to work at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. How can we put together a plan?
Make that transition.
And so those are definitely visits that I do. There are also moms who choose to be exclusive pumpers, and we help devise a plan that makes sure that her milk stays to par, what she needs throughout the day, and how to adjust that if it's lowering or whatever.
Okay, great. Okay, well, a lot of the questions that we have asked kind of tend towards like the beginning months of a baby's life. Do you offer any helps or tips, or could be a service to moms who are maybe on the end of that when they're going to start weaning, and like helping them make their supply accommodate that?
Yeah, for sure. Anywhere along the lines of breastfeeding, I'm here to help. My own pediatrician will laugh if she watches this, because I'm not the best at weaning my own kids. It's hard, but yeah, absolutely. I can help devise a plan to step that off where the mom doesn't get
sorry. Keep going.
Doesn't get engorged or have pain or those sorts of things, or get a mastitis, because that is the leading cause of mastitis. Is milk stasis, milk not moving.
Got it. Okay, I think we have a question coming through. Okay. Teething, striking, and supply issues. How in the world do you know which is which?
They can be hard to tell which is which. Supply issues are usually going to be separate from those, just because you're going to see the teething and striking usually further down the line, not those newborn. And by then you've usually got good supply. Now, around 4 months, a lot of times moms will feel a little bit of a dip in their supply. That's when our babies are getting more active. They're not really good at staying on the breast the whole time, because they realize there's this world around them that they want to see. So they're pulling off a lot. And that can kind of have an effect on our supply. Around 6 months or so, when we add foods in, that can affect our supply, because our body doesn't want us to be uncomfortable. So when it notices, okay, she's feeding this baby something else, it'll pull back on the milk. And then teething is kind of hard, because it can hurt right away. Your body does get used to it. Just like in the beginning, it hurts a little bit, and then your body gets used to it. Striking, the best thing to do for a feeding strike is just skin to skin to skin to skin to skin to skin. As much as you can have that baby bare chest to your bare chest, the better.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, if we have any other questions come through, we will answer those. We'll wait just maybe a couple of minutes more. But thanks so much for hanging out with us. And you did great. You answered those questions like a champ. Way to go.
Thank you.
Like I said, we will put the website for the Cook Children's Virtual Lactation Consultant, our friend Holly. We're going to put that in our comments, so y'all can click on that, and you'll know how to contact her to schedule an appointment, and all those fun things. Okay, one more question. 4 months with the distracted nursing, should you pump to keep the supply up?
Only if they're super distracted and you feel like they're really missing a lot of feeds, then certainly. Your mama gut is best. You know, if you feel like we've had 4 feeds today and they were all awful, first of all, your baby at some point is going to be hungry. So he's going to come back to you at some point and drain the breast, because just because they're distracted doesn't mean they're not hungry. It just means they may want to feed more often, because they're cruddier feeds. And so they're trying to feed all the time without just like a good long feed. If you feel like maybe they're sick and they're not clearing your breast, or whatever the case may be, that you just feel like we've gone a full day or two that I know my breasts have not been emptied, I know his output is less, then sure, pump to remove that milk. There's really no wrong answer, as long as you're always protecting the supply.
Right. Okay, great. All right. Well, again, thank you. It's been fun hanging out with you. And if y'all catch this video later and you want to throw some questions in the comments, I think our friend Holly may check it out. But again, you can also always connect with her one-on-one at Cook Children's for the virtual lactation consultation. See y'all later.